Hi, it's Akasha. Today I'm going to talk about 3 mindsets to make English conversation easier. In this video, I'm going to speak in English, and obviously I'm an intermediate English learner, so I might make some mistakes. So please go easy on me. Anyway, if you're a beginner or intermediate English learner, I think these mindsets might help you. So what are they? The first one is there is no failure in English conversation. And the second one is don't worry about Japanese words popping into your head. And the last one is speaking speed doesn't really matter for speaking skills. First, there is no failure in English conversation. And before, I was so afraid of mistakes. I was like, if I pronounced something wrong, if what I said didn't make sense, or I'd been studying English for a long time, I thought I was supposed to speak well, something like that. But one day I started thinking, why am I afraid of mistakes? I said there is no failure, but it's more like there is no such thing as the real thing or a final performance. It's all practice. Yeah? There is no such thing as the real thing means it's all practice, and it means you don't need to worry about mistakes because we can make mistakes in practice. Online conversation, speaking with your friends in English, speaking to yourself in English, online 英会話、独り言 in English, it's all practice. If you use English at work, if you speak with your customers in English, then there might be such a thing as the real thing. But I don't use English at work. I don't speak with my customers in English. In my case, there is no such thing as the real thing. It's all practice. So why am I afraid of mistakes? The next one is don't worry about Japanese words popping into your head. I'm an intermediate English learner, so not sometimes to be honest, often Japanese words pop into my head. I don't ask them, but they try to help me. Japanese words try to help me speak English. When I speak English using Japanese words in my head, I get so disappointed because it feels like I don't have an English brain. You know what? On YouTube, people talk about English brain a lot. You need an English brain, how to build an English brain, something like that. So I know how important it is. Of course, having an English brain is so important, but you don't need to be so hard on yourself about not having an English brain or Japanese words popping into your head. Because, first of all, thinking in Japanese while speaking English is not a mistake. It's not a mistake. And also, nobody knows if you think in Japanese. It all happens in your brain. Nobody knows. Before, when I spoke English using Japanese words in my head, I was so disappointed. But now I think, why do I need to be so hard on myself? If you have an English brain, you can understand, you can speak English more easily. So we need to try to build an English brain. But even if you don't have an English brain, we don't need to be so hard. You don't need to be so hard on yourself, I think. The last one is speaking speed doesn't really matter for speaking skills. I tend to speak first because I want to think I'm good at English. I want to think I'm good at English. But is speed really necessary? When I speak first, I tend to make pronunciation grammar mistakes. So if I speak first, if I make these mistakes, people won't think I'm good at English. But even if I speak slowly and if I speak with solid grammar pronunciation, people will think I'm good at English, I'm better at English. People evaluate your pronunciation, grammar, vocabulary, rhythm, but I don't think people judge someone's speaking speed as much. So we don't need to speak first. In my case, when I speak first, I tend to make these mistakes and my English tends to sound like Japanese, and I tend to speak in my comfort zone because I know in my comfort zone I can speak first, so there is nothing good, there is no need to rush. We can speak at our own pace. So today I was talking about 3 mindsets to make English conversation easier, but I didn't mean you don't need to care about mistakes. You can translate from Japanese to English all the time. I mean, even if these things happen, you don't need to be so hard on yourself. This is my point. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.